Hello, and welcome to the Super Awesome Comic Review Show. I am Foxy, and let's talk about the comics that came out this week. Alright, there's a lot of good stuff from Image Comics. We got the new issue 10 of Descender, They're Not Like Us, has an 11th issue. Lowe's third arc is starting up, and man, this is shaping up to be a doozy already. Family reunions not going how they, well, maybe this is how family reunions always go. What am I talking about? I don't know what your family's like. Man, whew, mine likes to rut around. It's pretty crazy. But my favorite book from Image Comics this week was Autumnlands, issue number 9. Such a joy to read. The Ares is where our intrepid heroes find themselves, and it's a sheep village. These sheep know how to party, and I would like to get down with them, and it's such a pleasure to read this series every issue along the way. It's such a wonderfully realized and textured universe. The characters all have their own clearly defined paths, and there's some mysteries still afoot. What is going on in the Ares? Why are the people of this village getting sick? And can Dusty and the Champion do anything to save them? Or will they really just eat some delicious food as frauds? Also out this week, a bunch of good stuff from Marvel. Spider-Man Deadpool number 2 was hilarious. All new Wolverine number 5. Cool team up with the Wasp. This series continues to be great. Old Man Logan number 2 sees the totally awesome Hulk in there. Not the Hulk that Logan was looking for, but the Hulk that he deserves. Yeah. And then my favorite book from Marvel this week was Weird World number 3. Sam Humphries and Mike Del Mundo continue to turn out one of the more unique books in the Marvel Universe. It's like The Wizard of Oz with wizard slaying. I guess The Wizard of Oz had witch slaying, but that was less of a, I don't know, there were 2 witches that were slayed in The Wizard of Oz, so maybe Weird World is a lot more like The Wizard of Oz than I want to give it credit for, but I just feel like this is a whole lot more fun. It's irreverent, the art is gorgeous, and the depth of the characters is, you know, further being explored at all turns. Even Morgan Le Fay gets a turn at characterization and depth in this issue, which is really unexpected. So yeah, continue to be impressed by this. And speaking of Sam Humphries, he's got a book coming out from Boombox this week, Jonesy number 1. That was a fun little story about a girl that can make people fall in love with anyone that she wants to. That's her superpower, is making people fall in love with anything. Yeah. It was a very, like, Steven Universe-esque comic, so if that's your bag, check it out. Also from Boom this week, Snowblind number 3. This has been a really interesting noir series for Molly Masters and Tyler Jenkins. 3 of 4, so next one's going to be the wrap-up. But it's basically about a family that was in witness protection, and their son didn't know about it, and so he posted a picture to social media that kind of puts them on the map, so to speak, and kind of just starts unraveling from there. Really cool story, very interesting, different art, it's watercolor, it's great. Also out this week from DC Comics, Batman, Harley and Ivy, the Deluxe edition, written by Paul Dini, with drawings by Bruce Timm, and among a bunch of others, including Shane Giles, Rick Burkett, Ronnie Del Carmen, and Stéphane Roux, and more. But this is a really great collection. It feels a little more risque than your average Batman adventures. There's a lot of shower scenes. Paul Dini, you little perv. This also reminds me, a couple weeks ago, DC Comics sent out a preview PDF of a new original graphic novel coming from Paul Dini and Eduardo Rizzo, and it's called Dark Knight, A True Batman Story, and it's a really harrowing graphic novel about Paul Dini's real-life experience with being mugged and brutalized by a couple of thugs on the street. and how that almost it gave him post-traumatic stress disorder and kind of almost took him out of writing heroic adventure stories, like for once and for all, because he was haunted by the characters that he used to imagine in these great stories. Now he's imagining them belittling him for not standing up for himself and telling him how he could have done better in this conflict. And basically, it was a very, very interesting story. And Paul Dini does not shy away from being self-critical, and it was really good. And Eduardo Rizzo shows a lot of range in his art and what he does in it. I highly recommend it. And for any Batman the Animated Series fan, it gives a really insider's look into what was going on while they were making The Mask of the Phantasm, because that was the era in which this happened. So luckily, spoilers, Paul Dini came out of it, came out the other side stronger for it, and, you know, still wrote some more awesome adventure stories, was able to get back in the swing of things. But it is a survivor's story, and I think he was hoping that showing his struggle could help other people deal with similar stresses. So definitely ask your retailer to pre-order that for you, or just keep your eyes out when it comes out, because it's one that you wouldn't want to miss. Lastly this week, out from Fantagraphic Books, Nod Away by Joshua W. Cotter. This book is nuts. I have not gotten to read it all, but just flipping through it extensively, I am so excited to read it. And just reading what some of these pillars of comics have to say on the back kind of gives you a good expectation. Falrell Dalrymple of the Wrenchies says, Joshua Cotter's unique and exquisitely dense dystopian science fiction tale is a provocative commentary on our rapid technological progress and the abject effect it can have on humanity. If you're a fan of great comics, the neural uplink to Cotter's data stream. So, yeah, I'm going to go neural uplink to the Cotter's data stream, but hope you guys are having a good one. As always, be a feminist, and, hashtag feel the burn. Ha! That's my endorsement. Feel that burn. You know who should be more of a feminist? Gloria Steinem. That'd be cool.